welcome to the Box of Delights game channel. We're playing Arkham Horror. And it's the upkeep phase for Jacqueline. Now remember, we need to think about what we want to do, plan our turn a little bit in our head, make sure we got the skills where we want them to be. Well, I think I have Jacqueline's skills about where I want them to be. She could do with a bit more speed. I think this is going to be one of the problems in this game, is with the Dunwich Horror expansion, there's a lot of town to cover. We need to be able to get around quickly if we can. Jacqueline's all clued up, so she really ought to be sorting out some gates if she can. So let's head through to Dunwich. I've got 4 movement points. And for Ashcan, I'm just going to pop his fight up one more level. So with her 4 speed, Jacqueline now on her movement is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the train station. So she's ready to move into Dunwich if she needs to. The other thing is, if you look at these locations, you see these symbols here? They tell you when you have an encounter here, what are the 2 things that are most likely to crop up at encounters in that space. So for Jacqueline, you know, unique items are always good, but a common item, something that might improve her speed, or her movement rather, would be a good thing. And Ashcan Pete, well, he's got his 3 speed, which is going to give him 3 movements, and he's going to try and sneak back up to the unvisited isle. So 1, 2, and as we leave this location, we're going to have to try and do an evade check against the Gug once more. It's exactly the same as last time, so we have a sneak of 3, and we have our pallid mask giving us +2 to evade checks. That's 5 dice. And the -2 from evade checks from the Gug gives us 3 dice. Alright, we got 2 successes. So Ashcan Pete successfully moves into the unvisited isle with his 3rd movement point. Encounters now, and Jacqueline's over here on the north side at the train station. So she draws from the north side a location deck. And we get, on the loading dock, you investigate a large crate with strange markings. Make a sneak -1 check. If you pass, you find a very unusual item in the crate. Gain 1 unique item. If you fail, Deputy Dingby catches you breaking it open. You're arrested and taken to the police station. Oh no, that's terrible, because Jacqueline only has a sneak of 0. So I failed the check, but I don't really want to go off to the police station. I've got 6 clues. Now, there's one thing you can do, and here's a new rule for you. Anytime you complete a skill check, you can pay 1 clue, so discard 1 clue, to roll an additional dice. We didn't roll any, and although the modifier took our sneak down, it was 0, -1, that doesn't matter. If you spend a clue token, you get to roll a dice, no matter what the outcome of the skill check or what your number of dice you rolled or anything. So I really don't want to go to the police station. It's a 1 in 3 chance, so let's see if we can roll a 5 or a 6. No, failed. So we wasted a clue token, but I'm not going to spend any more. I'm happy with my 5 clues. Let's head off to the police station. Poor old Jacqueline's been arrested, and she's placed in the jail cell. We're going to place her on her side to represent the fact that she's delayed. She's going to completely skip her next turn. And the other thing she needs to do is lose half her money, round it down, but she's only got $1, so she's not going to lose anything. Pretty bad news, though. Now we can shuffle this back into the north side location deck. And let's go see Ashcan Pete at the unvisited isle. It's time to learn a new rule. During the encounter phase, if you're at a location with an open gate here, you don't have an encounter at the location. Instead, you're drawn through this gate into the other world, and in this case, another dimension. So Ashcan Pete is drawn through time and space into another dimension. And that completes his Arkham encounter. But now we introduce the next phase. After the Arkham encounters, we have the other world encounters. Now we've not used that phase before because this is the first time we've been in an other world. And what we're going to do now is we're going to draw a card from the gate deck, and we're looking for a card of one of these colours: blue, red, green, yellow. Other worlds have different colours. This Abyss has just red and blue. City of the Great Race just has green and yellow. So we grab one of these, and it's yellow. Now we look to see if there's any text here specifically for another dimension. It mentions Relay and Yogoth as two other worlds. If there's no text specifically for the other world we're in, which is another dimension, then we just use the other. And this one says, "You are not safe here. A monster appears." So we'll discard this one now and grab ourselves a random monster from the monster cup. It's a zombie. Now we can choose to either fight this zombie or try to evade it. Well, evading it might be easy, but let's have a quick look at the monster. I stand the risk, and it's an undead monster. I think at this stage we're just going to play it a little bit safe, and we're just going to try and evade this monster. And it has +1 to evade checks. Ashgan's sneak is 3, and we have the pallid mask giving +2, that's 5. +1 for the evade check from the zombie is 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want 1 success from 6 dice. Alright, we got 3 successes in there, so we've successfully evaded that zombie. And when the combat is concluded against a monster which appears from an encounter, if we haven't defeated it, that is, it just goes straight back to the monster cup. Okay, there you go. That concludes the Otherworld encounter phase, and now we're back onto the mythos. And we get an environment card, the Chill of the Grave. Remember, this is going to replace our Angry Red Skies now, which was the old environment card. First thing, we're going to have a gate appear at the Unvisited Isle. There's already a gate in the Unvisited Isle. So now what do? We do something called a Monster Surge. Whichever is greater, the number of players or the number of gates. The number of gates open at the moment is 2, the number of players is 2, so that's 2 monsters are now going to appear, and they're going to appear out of each of our open gates. So we need to draw 2 more monsters and have them appear from those gates. First one's going to be at the Unvisited Isle, so that's going to be part of our monster limit. And it's a flying monster, Bayaki. So we grab one of our 4 plastic tokens that reminds of our monster limit. It's 5, right? And he'll appear over here at the Unvisited Isle. And we need 1 more for Wizard's Hill. Our second monster for Wizard's Hill is a Formless Spawn. Now remember, this one doesn't count towards the monster limit, so it appears here alongside our zombie. Next we have a clue appear at the science building. Okay. And now we'll take care of that monster movement. Our Gug has a slash. Bayaki has a circle. But up at Wizard's Hill, Formless Spawn doesn't move, but the zombie has a moon and it will move. It's going to follow the arrow to backwoods country. Finally then, for the mythos phase, we read the text for the environment card. The Chill of the Grave. All undead monsters have their toughness increased by 1. Just to give you a clue about what that means, have a look at our zombie here up at Blackwoods Country. Turn it round and you can see that the zombie is an undead monster. This blood drop in the middle here is the monster's toughness. What that means is to kill this monster I need 1 success. Having its toughness increase from 1 to 2 means that I need 2 successes, and this is when I'm running combat checks against this monster. I need 2 successes to beat it. But when we get into combat, we can think about how that works in more detail. So that concludes our Mythos phase. We'll keep this Chill of the Grave in play, but we can discard the old environment card, this one, the Angry Red Skies. That gets discarded now. Let's move the first player token over from Jacqueline to Ashcan, and we'll move to the next turn.